Have you ever looked at the person you are with now and quietly wondered, if I had turned left instead of right that day, would my whole life be different? Have you ever thought about your exes, your almost relationships, the people who passed through your world, and then looked at the one who actually stayed and thought, why you? Out of all the possible stories I could have lived. Welcome back to the channel. I am really glad you are here, because today we are going to talk about something that sits right at the intersection of romance, psychology, and what many traditions call destiny. This is not just about love as a sweet story. It is about love as a mirror of your karma, your inner patterns, your wounds, and your potential to wake up. In this long conversation, we are going to explore one big idea from 3 different angles. The big idea is this: you did not randomly end up with the person you are with before they ever appeared in front of you. 3 silent signals were already pulsing in your life. They were writing your preferences, shaping your attraction, and deciding which kind of person would feel right to your heart. Those 3 signals are the imprint of your past connections, the habits of your current life, and the direction of your future soul. Past connections means the invisible threads you carry from family, from past relationships, from deeper karma, and, if you believe in such things, even from previous lives. Current habits means the way you think, feel, work, escape, and show up every single day. Future direction means what your soul is secretly trying to learn in this life, your lessons in love, courage, letting go, and awakening. So in a way, the person you chose is not just a partner. They are a living answer to the question your life has been asking for a long time. I am going to walk you through stories, questions, and reflections. We will talk about why you are strangely attracted to certain people, even when you know they might hurt you. Why some couples feel fated even in their problems, and how to use this understanding to grow instead of just complain. We will also talk about how karma and cause and effect show up in love, not as punishment, but as a very precise teacher. As you listen, I invite you not to think only about your partner's flaws. Chances are, you already know those very well. Instead, try to watch where your own heart shows up in these stories. If you are single, this is still for you, because your next relationship is already quietly being shaped inside you. So let us begin with the first signal, the echo of your past. Imagine a woman named Leah. When she was a child, Leah had a father who was physically present but emotionally unpredictable. Some days he was warm and generous. He would bring home small gifts, ask about her day, laugh at her jokes. On those days, the whole house felt sunny. Other days, with no warning, he would come home with a dark cloud over his face. He would criticize little things in a cold tone, withdraw into silence, or make sharp comments that sliced her confidence. Leah never knew which version of him she would get, so she learned to scan the doorway the moment he stepped in. She studied his footsteps, his expression, the way he dropped his bag. Within seconds she would know, is today safe or dangerous? When she sensed danger, she shrank, walked on eggshells, tried to be invisible. When she sensed warmth, she lit up, showering him with stories and smiles, hoping to keep the good mood going. Her nervous system quietly absorbed one lesson about love: love is unstable, and you must work hard to keep it, because at any moment it can turn cold. Fast forward to her 20s. Leah tells herself and her friends, I want a partner who is reliable, emotionally mature, and steady. On dating apps, she swipes away people who seem obviously chaotic. She knows what she does not want. Then she meets Alex. Alex is charming, intense, and deeply attentive at the beginning. When he likes her, it is like standing in sunlight. He sends long messages, remembers small details, talks about the future. She feels seen in a way that makes her almost dizzy. But gradually, the pattern appears. Some days he is present and romantic. Other days he pulls back, replies late, seems lost in his own world. or snaps over small things. He never actually hits her or screams. He just shifts between warm and cold. A little like weather you cannot predict. Leah feels that familiar tension. She starts scanning his tone, his expression, his response time. She overthinks every small change. If he seems distant, she assumes she did something wrong and tries harder. If he comes close again, she is flooded with relief. From the outside, her friends see warning signs. "Why do you tolerate this?" they ask. "You deserve someone more consistent." But to Leah, this relationship feels strangely alive. Underneath the pain, there is a sense of something familiar, as if she has come home to a feeling she has always known. That feeling is not peace. It is the echo of her childhood. This is the first signal your past has already trained your heart in what love feels like, even if that feel is unhealthy. If you grew up in chaos, chaos will feel strangely like home. If you grew up in criticism, criticism will feel normal. If you grew up unseen, being ignored may feel more comfortable than being adored. Your conscious mind might say, "I want something different." But your deeper layers often pull you back toward what is familiar. That is why people who swear, "I will never be with someone like my father or mother," often find themselves, years later, in a relationship where the emotional climate feels painfully similar, just with new details. This is not because the universe is cruel. It is because unresolved patterns have momentum. Karma means that causes keep creating similar results until something truly changes at the root. There is also what spiritual traditions call karmic connection. Have you ever met someone and felt, "I have known you before," even though you just met? Or felt unexplainably drawn to a person who does not match your usual type? Some people would say this is just chemistry or projection. Others would say it is the echo of connections from other times, maybe as family, friends, lovers, or even enemies. Whether or not you believe in past lives, you can sense that some connections carry a strange weight. It feels like you are not starting from zero. For example, imagine a man named Aaron. Aaron is usually cautious in love. But at a retreat, he meets someone named May. They talk once about something trivial, and yet something inside him shakes. Over the next few days, they keep running into each other by accident. Their conversations go from small talk to childhood stories, fears, and dreams. Within a week, he feels closer to her than he has to people he has known for years. He cannot explain it. They are from different countries and lifestyles. Objectively, this could be just retreat sensitivity. But something in his chest whispers, "You know this soul." If we put this into the language of karma, we might say they have strong past karmic seeds ripening now. If we put it into psychological language, we could say that their patterns and wounds match in such a way that they instantly click. Either way, this sense of familiarity is one of the first signals that you and this person are entering each other's life to work through something important. That something is not always romantic happiness. Sometimes you are drawn to a person so that you can finish an old story. Maybe to learn forgiveness where there was betrayal. Maybe to say no where last time you could not. Maybe to stand up for yourself where you once stayed silent. The tricky part is that when this karmic signal is strong, it can override your analytical mind. You find yourself saying things like, "I know this seems crazy, but it feels right." Sometimes, it truly is right, and you walk a deep, healing path together. Sometimes, it is a powerful but painful classroom. So if you ask, why did I end up with this person? The first answer is because your past, from this life and perhaps from earlier lives, carried you toward them. Your childhood taught you what to expect from love. Your unfinished spiritual homework called you toward specific patterns. Your deeper self wanted another chance to respond differently in similar situations. Now let us move to the second signal, the rhythm of your current life. Even if you had zero past karma with someone, you would still only meet a certain kind of person in the spaces you actually inhabit. Your Your daily habits are like rivers. They flow through certain landscapes and not others. You meet people who also live along those rivers. Imagine a woman named Nina. Nina is ambitious, driven, and brilliant at her job in finance. She wakes up early, checks emails while brushing her teeth, eats breakfast over spreadsheets, and falls asleep with her phone on her chest. Her social life is mostly after-work drinks with colleagues, networking events, and occasional quick dinners with friends. On weekends, she either catches up on work, goes to the gym, or collapses in front of the screen. She says she wants a partner who is grounded, thoughtful, and able to slow down and appreciate the simple things in life. But ask yourself where, in her current rhythm, would she meet such a person? The people who cross her path regularly are also in the same race, busy, time poor, addicted to the rush of deals and deadlines. So when she falls in love, it is with someone who can keep up with that pace. Someone who also checks their phone obsessively, who also thinks in terms of performance, who also treats rest as guilt. Later, she might complain, "Why do I always attract emotionally unavailable workaholics?" From one angle, it is not that she attracts them. It is that she lives in a world where those are the people she repeatedly meets. Your current lifestyle is the second silent signal in who you marry. If you spend most of your time in bars and clubs, you will meet people who also spend their time there. Some of them may be wonderful and sincere. Some may not. But you will rarely meet, say, someone who spends every weekend hiking at sunrise or volunteering at an animal shelter. If you spend most of your time in spiritual communities, you will meet people who talk about meditation, karma, and awakening. That can be beautiful. But it also means you might run into people who use spirituality as an escape from dealing with money, work, or emotional maturity. If you spend most of your time online, in fandom spaces, gaming, or comment sections, your connections will form around those worlds. There is nothing inherently right or wrong about any of these arenas. The point is that your eventual partner most likely came out of the soil you were standing in, even when it feels random. It almost never is. Have you ever traced back the chain of coincidences that lead you to meet your partner? Maybe your friend invited you to a party you almost did not attend. There you met someone who later invited you to a dinner. At that dinner, your future partner happened to sit next to you because someone else canceled. You might think, if I had not gone to that party, none of this would have happened. That is true on one level. But ask another question: what made that friend think of you to invite in the first place? Maybe it was because you had been showing up often in their life, answering messages, saying yes more than no. What made you say yes that night? Maybe you were in a phase of pushing yourself to be more social. What made your future partner accept that dinner invitation? Maybe they were trying to get out of their shell too. Underneath the apparent accident, there were habits, moods, and choices forming streams. These streams met. The second signal, then, is not mystical. It is very practical. Your sleeping habits, your hobbies, your social circles, your work environment, your online behavior, all of these shaped where fate could place your partner. There is also another layer here: the person you show up as in your life determines who is drawn to you. If you always play the caretaker, people who need care will feel safe with you. If you always play the helper who never asks for help, people who enjoy being centered may gravitate toward you. If you show up as a mess of chaos, drama, and crisis, people who find that exciting or familiar will come closer. This is not about blame. It is about seeing that you and your partner did not just bump into each other on a neutral stage. You met in the middle of your habits. Think of your day like a script. What time do you wake? What do you do first? Check your phone, meditate, exercise, scroll, pray, complain? Where do you go? Office, campus, home office, cafe, club, park? Who do you talk to most? Colleagues, family, friends, strangers, clients. In those steps, your life was sending out steady signals. This is who I am. This is what I value. This is what I tolerate. This is what I ignore. Someone, somewhere, whose signals could lock into yours, responded. Maybe you met at a time when you both were at a similar level of chaos. Maybe you met when you both were at a similar level of seriousness about growth. Maybe you met when one of you was stable and the other a storm. And the match was that of anchor and ship. Once we see this, a simple but powerful insight appears. If you want a different kind of relationship in the future, changing only your partner is not enough. You must also change your life script. Now let us move into the third signal, the direction of your soul. This one is often the hardest to see because it is not about the past or the present, but about what your deeper self is trying to learn next. Imagine life as a school for the heart. Before you were born, or at least before you became conscious in this life, you carried certain tendencies. Maybe you have a tendency to cling. Maybe you have a tendency to run. Maybe you easily lose yourself in other people's needs. Maybe you struggle to let anyone close. On top of that, you carry certain strengths: kindness, courage, patience, creativity. Together, your weaknesses and strengths form a kind of curriculum. Life then arranges experiences minus family, work, friendships, and especially intimate relationships minus that push on the exact spots that need growth. From this angle, the person you married is not just a companion. They are also a spiritual exercise partner. Let me tell you a story. There is a man named Victor. Victor grew up praised for his intelligence. He read quickly, argued well, solved problems. People came to him for advice. He learned to trust his mind above all. If he could understand it, he could handle it. Feelings, on the other hand, were confusing. He found them messy and unnecessary. When people around him cried or panicked, he would stand there awkwardly, waiting for the storm to pass. He prided himself on being rational. In his late 20s, he married someone named Alina. Alina was, in many ways, his opposite. She felt deeply, spoke openly about emotion, and valued vulnerability. She could sense subtle changes in people's moods. She cried easily, loved hard, and sometimes tormented herself with overthinking about whether she was loved back. In the beginning, Victor was fascinated. Her emotional depth was like entering a new world. She, in turn, felt safe with his stability and logic. But after the honeymoon phase, their differences became friction. When she needed comfort, he offered analysis. When she wanted him to sit with her feelings, he tried to fix them. When he withdrew into his head, she felt abandoned and overexpressed to pull him out. Fights erupted. Each blamed the other for being too emotional or too cold. On the surface, it was just a typical clash of styles. Underneath, something deeper was happening. Victor's soul was being asked to learn emotional literacy, to enter the realm of feelings he had always avoided. Elena's soul was being asked to learn grounding, to not drown in every wave, to trust that not all love is expressed in the same dramatic way. Their marriage was an intense classroom. If they both stayed unconscious, they could easily become enemies, each seeing the other as the problem. If they woke up even a little, they could see that they were thrown together precisely because their strengths and weaknesses fit into each other's curriculum. His overemphasis on rationality needed the medicine of her emotional world. Her over-identification with feelings needed the medicine of his steadiness. Now, whether they stayed together or not is another story. Some couples manage to grow in this way and transform their bond. Some grow apart. But from the perspective of the soul, the point is that they met so that certain lessons could be activated. Think about your own relationship. If you are very giving and your partner is more taking, your lesson might be learning boundaries and self-worth. If you are very taking and your partner is extremely giving, your lesson might be learning gratitude and reciprocity. If you are always the one who runs away from conflict, and your partner confronts everything head-on, your lesson might be learning to stay. If you are always the one who confronts aggressively, and your partner withdraws, your lesson might be learning gentleness and timing. Sometimes your partner appears almost as a test. Not a test in the sense of a cruel game, but in the sense of life asking, are you ready to respond differently this time? For example, if you have a long pattern of saying yes when you mean no, and then resentment builds up, you might attract a partner who constantly requests more and more from you. On the surface, you might say, why do I always attract selfish people? On a deeper level, life may be offering you a very clear mirror. Here is your inability to say no, reflected back at you in a way you can no longer ignore. If, one day, you finally say, I love you, but I cannot agree to this, and you hold that boundary, you break an old karmic pattern. Your soul grows. In that sense, the person you married is part of your future calling you. They bring out in you parts that need to heal, parts that need to grow, parts that need to wake up. Sometimes that growth happens as you learn to love them better. Sometimes it happens as you learn to love yourself enough to leave. Sometimes it happens as you both fall, make mistakes, hurt each other, and then choose to repair. Now, if we put all three signals together, they form a kind of equation. Past connections, present habits, future lessons. The person you chose, your father's distance, your mother's overcare, your excess betrayal, your first crush, your biggest heartbreak, your work stress, your daily routines, your favorite escape, your spiritual practices or lack of them. Your souls need to learn trust, courage, boundaries, forgiveness, humility, or self-respect. All of these combine to make certain people stand out to you as attractive, exciting, safe, or fated. So when you look at your partner now and ask, why are you the one I ended up with? You're really asking, what do all these layers of my life want to explore through you? Maybe the answer is that your souls have traveled together for many lifetimes, supporting each other through ups and downs. Maybe the answer is that you both came to balance each other's extremes. Maybe the answer is that you are here to break cycles of pain from your families, so that your children or the people around you do not inherit the same patterns. Let us bring this down to very practical ground. What can you actually do with this understanding? First, you can stop reading your marriage or relationship as a pure accident or as a pure punishment. It is not, I just got unlucky with love. It is also not, the universe hates me and gave me this partner to suffer with. It is, life brought two complex beings together with matching patterns and lessons. This shift alone can soften the sharpness of blame. Instead of thinking only, why are you like this? You can also wonder, why did my life choose someone like you? And what does that show me about myself? Second, you can start to read the three signals in your own story. Take some time, maybe with a journal, maybe just in your mind, and ask three sets of questions. About your past, what did love look and feel like when I was a child? What did I see in my parents' relationship? Or in the relationships of the adults around me? What roles did I play in my family? Peacemaker, rebel, invisible one, golden child. How do those roles show up in my current relationship? About your present, what does my daily life actually look like? Not in theory, but in reality. What do I spend time on? What kind of people and energy do I surround myself with? How does my current lifestyle shape the kind of partner who could easily fit into it? About your future, what keeps repeating in my relationships? And what might life be trying to teach me through those repetitions? Do I need to learn to open my heart more? Or to protect my heart better? Do I need to learn to stay and work through conflict? Or to walk away from what harms me? What kind of person am I being called to become through this relationship? More patient, more honest, more courageous, more humble. You do not need perfect answers. You just need honest ones. Third, you can take responsibility for your side of the equation. If your past made you tolerate disrespect, your work now is to raise your standards and heal your sense of worth. If your habits keep you in chaotic environments, Your work is to create more stability in your schedule, your body, your finances, your mind. If your future lessons seem to revolve around boundaries, your work is to practice saying no in small ways daily, so that in big moments you can stand firm. When you change these things, something surprising happens. Even if you do not change partners, the relationship starts to feel different because you are showing up differently. If your partner is able and willing to grow, they will respond to your new energy. Patterns that felt stuck may slowly move. If your partner cannot or will not grow, your clarity will make it easier to decide whether to stay or to leave, without as much confusion. Fourth, you can view your partner with a bit more compassion. This does not mean excusing abuse or staying in harmful situations. It means recognizing that they are carrying their own past, living their own habits, and being pulled by their own future lesson. The things that frustrate you in them are not random. Their fear of intimacy, their overwork, their defensiveness, their silence, their need for control minus these are all strategies they learned somewhere to survive. You can still say, "This behavior is not acceptable to me." You can still ask for change or decide to go. But when you see their humanity, your heart can stay softer even when your boundaries are firm. Finally, you can remember that no matter how angled your love story is, it is part of a larger journey. Maybe your marriage lasts a lifetime. Maybe it ends and you both walk separate paths. Maybe you never formalize a relationship on paper, but someone leaves a deep imprint on your soul. In all cases, these connections are part of your awakening. They show you where you are still unconscious. They show you where you still cling or avoid. They show you what you truly value. They show you where you need to practice forgiveness, including forgiveness of yourself. So the next time you lie in bed next to your partner, or think about them from a distance, you might try a new kind of reflection. Instead of only replaying their shortcomings, ask quietly, "What have I learned about myself through loving you, fighting with you, being bored with you, being happy with you?" Maybe you will realize that through this relationship, you have become more patient, more honest, more aware, more brave. If so, then your time together is already sacred, regardless of its outcome. You can also ask, "What am I still refusing to learn here?" Maybe you are still afraid to speak your truth. Maybe you still blame your partner for everything and avoid looking at your own part. Maybe you still fantasize about someone perfect instead of working with the reality in front of you. These questions are not meant to shame you. They are meant to bring you closer to the steering wheel of your own destiny. Because while it is true that hidden signals brought you together, it is also true that from this moment on, every thought, word, and action you choose becomes a new signal sending your future in a particular direction. You are never only the victim of fate, you are also the writer of it. As we come to the end of this long reflection, I want to leave you with a simple invitation. Take a quiet moment sometime today. Sit with a pen and paper, or just with your eyes closed. Picture the person you have loved most deeply in this life, whether they are still with you or not. Whisper in your heart, "Thank you for being part of my destiny. Thank you for teaching me, even through pain." Then ask, "From this day forward, how do I want to love differently? More wisely, more awake?" If you feel comfortable, you can share a piece of your story in the comments. You do not need to expose all your secrets. Just a few lines show you met, what patterns you now see, what you are learning. Your insights might be exactly what someone else needs when they are sitting alone wondering why their love life feels so confusing. If this video script helped you see your relationship from a deeper angle, beyond pure romance or pure frustration, I invite you to support the channel. You can subscribe so you do not miss future long-form explorations of karma, destiny, and awakening in everyday life. You can like this content so that more people who are quietly struggling with their marriages and relationships can find a new perspective. You can share it with a friend who keeps asking, "Why do I always end up with the same kind of person?" and does not yet see the patterns beneath. And if you feel called to walk more closely with this community, you can consider becoming a member. Your support helps me continue to create long, thoughtful, story-based content that does not just give empty tips, but sits with you in the real work of understanding your life, healing your patterns, and stepping into a more conscious love. May you have the clarity to see the 3 signals that lead you to the person you chose, the courage to take responsibility for your part in the story, and the compassion to bless both yourself and your partner as fellow travelers in this mysterious, precise, and often surprising journey of destiny.
Life gets noisy. Work, stress, expectations. Sometimes we lose touch with the quiet part of ourselves. Bracelet isn't just an accessory. It's a small reminder that you deserve peace. You deserve moments of stillness. You deserve to hold on to your inner balance. If one of these bracelets speaks to your heart, you'll find the purchase link in the description below. And even more auctions available on our channel's shop page. Pick home the one that feels right.